the cost of gas. People already think prices are way too high. I mean, I live here in Chicago. I filled up my tank for $4.99 a gallon the other day, and I thought that hurt. But how much worse could that actually get for people at the pump?
Like, I think we're probably in the spot. I don't see the pump going much higher. President Trump did a great job of getting the $5 a gallon under Biden down to 2.80. We're now getting back up into the 4.50, $5 range. I think we probably, because of the independence that we have, because of the supply we have in the country, and because of how prepared we were really for an event like this domestically, I think prices at the pump are probably going to remain about where they are. I don't see them going much higher.
And what's your piece of advice for Americans watching this right now, thinking, hey, I'm in the market for a big purchase, a car, starting my own business, buying a home? I mean, is this a kind of a hold tight moment or get ahead of the problem? Like, how are you advising people right now who want to make major purchases, who don't know how to budget?
Yeah, as far as across the board, whether it's a major purchase or whether it's an investment, I think the best thing to do at this point, and we've been saying this since December, so this is not just a war in Iran thing, is get your house in order and be prepared. The markets got ahead of themselves. I think the economy was doing well and started to gain some traction, but there's going to be fits and starts there as well. And then there's the challenges that the left continue to throw at the Trump agenda, i.e. the tariff conversation. The roadblocks ahead are real. The market valuation and the market reaction is real. The war in Iran risks are real. As risks rise, start to tighten down, get your house in order, and be prepared for a little bit of a storm, which I think, whether it be Main Street or Wall Street, I think we're in the beginning stages of, not the final stages of.
Yeah. There's a lot of real that we're bracing for right now. We'll see what tonight has in store, what tomorrow ends up looking like, too. Anthony Esposito, thank you for your time, sir. Appreciate it. Do you find that odd that the press briefing this morning was canceled on deadline day?
Yeah, I mean, I've found in my experience, Marky, there aren't a lot of coincidences in politics. On the day that Donald Trump has said by 8 p.m. tonight, you better do these things, a scheduled briefing gets canceled. I mean, it would seem, again, I'm no military expert, but it would seem as though this may be part of maybe Pete Hegseth is involved in the planning of this sort of thing. Who knows? But yeah, coincidences don't happen at this level of politics.
Yeah, I have a lot of questions there. I know you watched the president's press conference yesterday. You wrote up a whole Substack on it about the 50 lines that stood out to you. Of the 50, was there a clear winner, and kind of what was your overall sentiment or takeaway?
I mean, I think the one that I was most struck by, because I actually think it's probably the truest reflection, is he was asked towards the end of the press conference. He was asked, what's going to happen, right? Are you going to make good on this deadline, or is there going to be a deal? And he said, I don't know. It could go either way. I'm paraphrasing, but that's essentially what he said, which is pretty remarkable. I mean, we're 12 hours away now from this deadline. President of the United States, you would think probably the most informed person about this in the country, or among them. And I think that's the truth, is he doesn't really know. And I think that
so you don't think it's like part of a strategy? You think he genuinely doesn't know next moves, depending on how the day unfolds?
Yeah, I think he is very. Look, let me say this, Marky. It's hard to know with Donald Trump. I'm not going to hop into his mind and tell you what he knows and what he doesn't know. But I will say, I think he is a big believer in keeping optionality open, right? Keeping all his options on the table always. Remember, he is fundamentally sort of a negotiator and a deal maker. You don't lose that just when you become the president of the United States. So I think he'd like to make a deal of some sort. At the same time, I think for people who say the whole Trump always chickens out thing, well, he launched strikes against Iranian nuclear sites in last June, and he started this war 36 days ago against Iran. So he doesn't always chicken out. So,
yeah. And not to mention Venezuela back in January. Right.
So it's I think he truly is trying to keep every option on the table right up until the last minute. I think that's his nature, right, is to do something like that. And I think that's a remarkable thing in that we don't really know. There's so many questions. Is there a deal made? What does it look like? if there isn't a deal made, what does he do, right? Like, I mean, there's just a lot going on in a very volatile place in the world.
Yeah, and my other thought this morning was what makes Iran take him more seriously tonight than the other three times. I mean, tonight is the fourth time he's moved those goalposts. If he moves it again, it'll be fifth. At what point do those deadlines lose their credibility? And
Marky, I totally agree with that, right? I mean, you're the parent of young kids. I'm the parent of slightly older kids. If you threaten you're going to do something to your kids, if you look at your screen one more minute, I'm taking your phone away, and you don't take the phone away 5 times in a row, the kid learns the lesson. Well, they're probably not going to take the phone away, right? I mean, that's the reality of the situation.
They learn how to play you, and
yes,
when you're serious.
Totally. and so it's kind of like it's odd to say I don't know that he even knows what the next move is here, but I always go back. I tell people, you want to understand Donald Trump, read the opening of The Art of the Deal written in 1987, where he says, paraphrasing, I don't have a plan for the day. I like to let the day come to me and make decisions as information comes in. I think that is fun. I don't think you change all that much as an adult. I think that is fundamentally who this guy is, even, yes, all the way up to and including a moment like this that is a central moment. This war is a central moment of his presidencies, not just this presidency, his presidencies and his legacy. What does he do? This is why you get paid. I was going to say you get paid the big bucks. You make a lot of money as president. You probably make more money doing other things. But this is why you're the buck stopper, right? You're the guy who makes decisions. Absolutely. It's days like this.
Well, the day is about to come to him. We'll see which direction he takes it. Chris Cillizza, thank you so much as always. Appreciate your time. Marky. And we'll be chatting soon, no doubt about it.
Noom's going micro. Micro habits, micro wins, microdosed GLP-1s.
Help!
Oh, hi. What's happening?
I've been here for months and my weight won't budge. I'm stuck.
Been there, but Noom's microdoses of motivation and microdosed GLP-1s can help.
Bye-bye, plateau!
Hello, Micro changes, big results. Get started at Noom.com. Welcome to the Microtop. I guess that's why they call him the GOAT.
When you buy LG, you get so much more than just appliances. You get the latest innovations, like a washer that's also a genius. All with the backing of LG, America's most reliable and #1 appliance brand. LG Laundry, so much more.
Trust is obviously a huge thing for attorneys and their clients. The very first time someone comes to see me, I try to be just over the top, 100% honest and clear with them and go over with them what they can expect as far as all the pitfalls and all of the things that we do. In my experience, if you just tell people right from the very beginning, hey, this is not going to be easy, this is going to be a long process, that really pays off in the long run and it builds trust.
Missouri's tax code is full of holes, hundreds of loopholes, including loopholes exploited by out-of-state billionaires and lobbyists. And an over-reliance on income and property taxes on the rest of us have left our tax code unfair and state revenue unreliable. That's why Mike Kehoe promised to phase out income taxes, reduce personal property and local taxes, and close the loopholes. Fair, reliable, no more loopholes. Tell your legislator, help Mike Kehoe keep his promise.
Accused Gilgo Beach serial killer Rex Heuermann is expected to plead guilty as early as tomorrow and now also faces a wrongful death lawsuit. The son of one of the 7 women police say Heuermann killed just filed that suit. He's also suing Heuermann's ex-wife and their daughter, accusing of helping cover up his mom's murder. An attorney for the family says they had no knowledge of Heuermann's alleged crimes. Those murders took place on Long Island in New York for more than a decade. TMZ says it received 2 new ransom notes just on Monday, the same day that Nancy's daughter, Savannah, returned to work anchoring the Today Show. TMZ executive producer Harvey Levin says it looks like they came from the same person who emailed his outlet at the very beginning of this mystery more than 2 months ago.
We got another letter today from this person, an email saying, I know where her body is and who the kidnapper is. Give me half a Bitcoin and I'll tell you.
Nancy Guthrie was reported missing February 1st from her Tucson, Arizona home. Investigators have yet to identify a suspect or a person of interest, and there is still no sign of where Guthrie could be. Tracy, good morning to you, my friend. Thank you for your time early this morning. Do you find the timing of these latest ransom notes to be intentional? The same day Savannah returned to work.
Well, thank you so much for having me, Marky. Yes, I absolutely find these to be intentional. This is a person that now, for almost, a month, 6 weeks, has waited to essentially put out another note. I think this is a person who sort of wants the fame, wants the discussion, and TMZ is giving them really exactly what they want.
The thing that really sticks out to me with all of these ransom notes, Tracy, is the Bitcoin ask, right? Like this latest one asked for half a Bitcoin. A full Bitcoin right now is worth $68,000, so they want 34 grand. I mean, the Guthrie family is good and willing to pay $1 million for anybody who has information that helps recover Nancy. If this person were innocent, why not come forward for that cash, that $1 million instead, and help crack the case?
You're absolutely right, because as you know, the amount of Bitcoin has changed. I'm not surprised that they are using Bitcoin, Margie, or asking for Bitcoin as it's pseudo-anonymous, right? I think that is unfortunately the way that a lot of kidnappers, ransoms, those kinds of things. We've seen that a lot. So that's not surprising in and of itself, but this is what, $34,000-ish. So the number has changed significantly from when that first ask came in.
And we know other notes throughout the case have been ruled out as fakes. However, just given the coverage of Guthrie's disappearance, what's the FBI doing to ensure they're accurately authenticating any alleged communication right now?
The FBI doesn't have a choice. They have to treat all of these as real until they are disproven. And so that's a good thing. We want them to do that. But the problem is we don't want a sheer, large number of volume to come through to the point that it stops up the FBI in terms of doing this in an efficient and quick way, if they are real, to find her. So I think in this case, what they are doing is obviously my guess is this person is using a VPN and is not in the location that they are saying that they are. So they have to get through that. They're probably using encrypted chat to do this, if this is the same one as the individual who did that in, I guess, mid-February. So that is going to take some time, but they will be able to discredit or credit the person at some point.
Yeah, so many questions as to who's behind all of these messages. I know you watched, it was just a heart-shattering interview, a sit-down interview that Savannah just did with Hoda Kotb. And she talked about these ransom notes throughout the case. This is what she said about those messages.
But I believe the 2 notes that we received, that we responded to, I tend to believe those are real.
Tracy, do you think she believes they're real because she knows more than we do, being Nancy's daughter, or do victims, family members, see any piece of evidence, real or not, as just a sign of hope that they cling to?
I think in this case, I think it's a mix of both, to be honest, Marky. But I think in this case, Savannah is a rather pragmatic and logical individual. And I do believe that she thinks that these 2, and I tend to actually agree with her, that were received rather early on, asking for the much larger sums of Bitcoins, either contained information that we are probably not privy to, nor will we ever be, to be totally honest, that either identified her mother in a way that made her think that they had her or were close to her or knew what happened to her. So I think that they contained more information than thought. And I think that's absolutely why a response video was made. Now, it raises the question, was the response video made because that's what the family wanted to do, or that's what the FBI wanted them to do because they believed it was real?
Interesting. Before I let you go, just thinking ahead and looking forward here, how do you anticipate the Today Show and Savannah continuing to cover this case now that she's back at the desk. And how do investigators view that spotlight on such a huge platform?
I think, quite frankly, Savannah is doing this for her mother. That's what I think. I think she's bringing attention to this issue to find her mother. Now, I think investigators are probably now, whatever leads may come in or whatever threats, to be sadly honest with you, come in, they are investigating all of those. I would also imagine, too, that there are probably individuals with her there in New York, seeing if there's anyone suspicious, quite frankly, around her or around her family. I would also imagine that she has heightened security.
Definitely. I mean, it has to change your entire life. All of your family members, your children, making sure everybody's okay on a day-to-day basis. I just can't imagine. Joining me now, I have former FBI special agent and News Nation law and justice contributor Jennifer Coffindoffer. Jennifer, it's always good to see you. Thank you for the time. Do you find the timing of these latest ransom notes peculiar or intentional, the same day that Savannah Guthrie went to work?
I find it completely intentional, Marky. This was an absolute statement. To me, it's really a statement of torture. I'm just going to be clear on this. The fact that this person keeps sending these ransom notes, whether they're connected to the abduction or not, what they're doing to this family is nothing short of torture. We've seen it in other cases, but this takes it to a whole new level to do this to her, Savannah, when she had just returned.
I mean, just a nightmare that continues for her. The thing that sticks out to me, Jennifer, is the Bitcoin asks in all of this. This person who sent this latest message wants half a Bitcoin. That's worth $34,000. You have Savannah Guthrie and her siblings willing to pay $1 million for any information. If this person was credible and innocent, why not come forward for $1 million?
Well, this is the caveat that's on all of that kind of goes under the radar. And that is the Bureau, even though it's the Guthrie money, they are going to recommend certain parameters are met. In other words, this just isn't give me the information and you get the money. It's usually more involved with that. Certainly the $100,000 is more involved. They want the prosecution, and it has to be a but-for situation. But for that information, we could not have prosecuted. Are the parameters that tight on that $1 million? I can guarantee you they are recommending that to the family for that money to be paid. So it's a little bit more difficult than just sending the money through Bitcoin like these people want.
Yeah. I know you watched her sit-down interview, Savannah's, with Hoda Kotb last week. I mean, just gut-wrenching to watch and listen to. And she addressed those ransom notes throughout the case. Take a quick listen.
But I believe the 2 notes that we received, that we responded to, I tend to believe those are real.
Jennifer, what do you think has prompted Savannah to believe that those notes were authentic? Is it possible the family knows or is aware of other potential evidence that we're not privy to at this time?
I think one thing is just what is in those ransom notes, those particulars that are in there that lead law enforcement to believe they were real. Look, they would not have set up the behavioral analysis unit to be involved in prepping this family for what they needed to say to these kidnappers. They would not have put on that whole show if they did not believe those notes were real. So I believe the insider information also in terms of what the FBI believes is leading her to believe this.
And before I let you go, I mean, it's been more than 2 months now. You have this new ransom note coming in, or notes, I should say. Where does the FBI, where do those top investigators now focus their investigation this morning? What comes next?
Well, I tell you one thing, Marky, with this new notes coming in, with these notes coming in, I think I run with this. In other words, I understand you're not going to get the money, and I understand these abductors or the ransom note senders might not even be the abductors, but I want to get these extortionists caught. And for $34,000, I pony up that money. I send it through Bitcoin. Bitcoin is very easily traceable. It's just that the name isn't necessarily attached. It doesn't mean they can't find the accounts that are attached. I send that money, Marky, and see where it lands.
We'll wait and see what more we learn from investigators and the family as well. Jennifer Coffindoffer, thank you so much as always. Good to see you, my friend.
Live from Ozarks First Plus, a rapid rundown of the local headlines, stories shared, viral videos, plus the features and facts before they hit your feed. You're watching The Daily Scroll with me, Bailey Stroll.
Hello, welcome to The Daily Scroll. It's a fine day out there, but it's going to be a wet rest of the week. That's my forecast for you. We're going to have some storms, I think, Wednesday and Friday night. If you're paying attention to the forecasts like I most of the time am in the news.
You're a meteorologist yet.
I did do the forecast for a very long time on the radio.
You always say that, but now you're actually like predicting stuff.
I'm saying what Jamie usually says. So that's it. I'm not predicting, not forecasting, nothing. Literally just listening to what our good old man Jamie says, the weatherman, and
if you lose us 10 years in a row most accurate, they're never going to forgive you, Bailey.
Well, it's a good thing I'm not a meteorologist then. All right. So today we are going to be talking about what lies underneath Stockton Lake, or at least beside it. This is a good old Catherine special from our very own amazing digital content writer, producer, OzarksFirst.com extraordinaire, Catherine. And she has found something that is very interesting, I would say, about, these little known places around the Ozarks. This one taking us to Cedar County today. I have never even heard of this. Love history.
I was going to say, a place in Missouri that Bailey Stroll doesn't know about?
Yeah, I
tough to find.
hadn't heard about this one, so I was surprised myself. It's a good long read. We'll give you a little taste. And then there is a new version of, if anybody remembers that Willy Wonka disaster event that happened last year.
The Great Unknown? Is it The Great Unknown?
I'm not sure.
All right, keep going.
Chocolate Experience, that's what it was. Now it's Barbie Dream Fest that has turned into either that Willy Wonka version or Fyre Fest, if you want to call it that. Giving people the opposite of a run for their money, because they are asking for refunds at this point, going viral for literally all the wrong reasons.
Okay. It was just The Unknown, not great. Sorry.
The Unknown.
But he was part of the Willy Wonka thing. He came out at one point and was.
I see.
A part of it. I don't think they really explained why.
Willy Wonka Chocolate Experience,
yeah.
I think in Germany.
So does this Barbie thing have this? Does it have one of these guys?
Not that I saw,
okay,
which would probably be for the best, actually.
Best.
And then, we love when people try to do something gigantic, whether it's the 100-foot-long subs at Hy-Vee or big cookie on Bruce Almighty, whatever those things are. We've got one, and it happened in real life, and it's in New Orleans. And no, it's not a beignet. It's not a, gumbo or shrimp or anything like that.
Yeah.
But we will tell you what it is, and honestly, it looks pretty delicious to me. Okay, later on, also, we're just going to talk about what are thoughts on tipping? There's a new survey out there, and it might surprise you what people think about tipping in the U.S. I also have some thoughts on it. We'll get into that. But first, let's do the local thread. Okay, so long before Stockton Lake, long before the Sac River was controlled by a dam, and people kept returning to the same little bend in the waterway there and in what is now Cedar County. Catherine Skopek has found that this is a very historic site for many, 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 many reasons. And not just because of, a few generations. Actually, you can see there 13,000 years or more. I implore you to go read this entire story. But, I'll give you the gist of it. This is called Big Eddy, that little section of the river. It was a common area for people to gather. They could make stone tools there. They could make spear points. It had plants and animals and fuel, and it was a floodplain. And so the soil was great for all kinds of things, but you would think that it would be, a situation where because of the water, it would mix and everything would get kind of mixed together and history might be lost. Not the case here. It was actually getting dumped on top of each other, and so it made specific layers and just kept packing and packing and packing it down. So when they were going to build Stockton Lake, and this was going to maybe be destroyed or it started eroding because of the waterway moving, they got some archaeologists out there. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers funded 5 excavation sites, and the dig proved even more remarkable than they could have ever thought. It didn't just prove that there were Native American tribes that had been there for hundreds of years. It proved that people had been at that specific site for thousands and thousands of years, going back ages. So I won't spoil her story. You have to go to ozarksfirst.com to read the entire thing. But there are a lot of archaeological treasures that were found there, and it's still one of those things that she says is not very well known unless you're an archaeologist or if you're into that sort of thing. So go check it out, and I'm sure you can do an even deeper dive than she did if you really care to know about the Big Eddy.
This is not the first archaeological thing. I feel like either Kat or just us has covered. We have a lot of those things, it seems like, around here.
Yeah, I love the thought of it. Well, we had the mammoth bone on here recently.
Okay, yeah, but I feel like people finding things or even just going places and discovering buried stuff. I don't know.
In another life, that would have been my absolute dream job, but instead I'll just talk about it on here.
You want to be Tomb Raider? Is that what you want?
I'd be digging around in the dirt and the mud trying to find an arrowhead, Yeah. If I got the chance. But instead I'll just wait till somebody does it and I'll talk about it on here.
Okay, that works too. Yeah.
Okay, when we come back, we are talking Barbie, what I'm calling Barbie Dreamfest turned nightmare. Was it really a nightmare, or was people just out a lot of money for not a lot of entertainment? We'll show you a video from one specific person and how much it really costs to go to this thing and what it was advertising. And then we'll talk about a giant pasta bowl and show you how it was done when we come back.
Noom's going micro. Micro habits, micro wins, microdosed GLP-1s.
Help!
Oh, hi. What's happening?
I've been here for months and my weight won't budge. I'm stuck.
Been there, but Noom's microdoses of motivation and microdosed GLP-1s can help.
Bye-bye, plateau!
Hello, Micro changes, big results. Get started at Noom.com. Welcome to the Microtop. I guess that's why they call him the GOAT.
When somebody comes to see us, the initial consultation is completely free. If we take your case, then there is no upfront fee. There's nothing. We don't get paid as we go. If we don't win your case, you don't owe us a penny. So it is a contingency fee based on when we win your case, 25% plus expenses.
Once you come in as a client, your job at that point is to just get through the treatment phase. We handle everything else.
You saw it then. You feel it now. You see what's next. Switch.
Are you struggling to navigate the complex world of workers' compensation law? At the Ryan E. Murphy Law Firm, we specialize in workers' compensation. We'll fight to get the benefits you deserve. At the Ryan E. Murphy Law Firm, work comp is all we do. Call the Ryan E. Murphy Law Firm today.
This is so much more than a refrigerator. It's a space-saving magician, a wellness guru, a smoothie lover's dream. And today, we're giving it a workout. LG refrigerators, so much more.
Trust is obviously a huge thing for attorneys and their clients. The very first time someone comes to see me, I try to be just over the top, 100% honest and clear with them and go over with them what they can expect as far as all the pitfalls and all of the things that we do. In my experience, if you just tell people right from the very beginning, hey, this is not going to be easy, this is going to be a long process, that really pays off in the long run and it builds trust.
All right, we're taking you to Fort Lauderdale, where this little weekend pop-up was not all it was advertised to be. This woman sharing her video from this event, you know, people get all dressed up. They're ready to go have a ball. It was advertised as being, you know, an all-encompassing experience, a Barbie dream fest, and step inside the movie kind of situation. And you think, what's my outfit going to be? Oh, I'm going to take amazing pictures. And then you show up and you're in the middle of a warehouse. Not even a little bit of sunshine peeking through. I wouldn't have gone to this in a million years, but some people really shelled out a lot of money for this.
Okay, yeah. How much did it cost? Do you have that?
So they say you spent $75 to $300 to go to Barbie Dream / Fyre Fest.
Okay, all right. Let's calm down with the comparisons. That's just like Comic-Con.
Yeah.
You just go to a convention center. You have a bunch of fold-out tables,
around.
And they've decorated. I saw some good decorations. Not a lot of good decorations, but
it's
some.
not horrible.
Yeah.
But it did say at one point they were going to gonna have like a illuminated I don't remember what it was, but
they made
it's roller
promises.
skate around the twinkling lights and blah, blah, blah.
And then there was just like a little bike course.
Yeah, it was not. I'm like, maybe little kids wouldn't know the difference.
Yeah.
Maybe they should have got.
I saw some kids looked like they were having fun. A
It
lot
was
more
almost
fun
like
than the Willy Wonka one.
They spread it out too much. Maybe
Yeah.
they keep everything a little bit more compact.
If you had a smaller ballroom, that probably would have looked fine.
Yeah, but is this Fyre Fest? No.
No.
Let's not
And
be dramatic.
I don't know. What were they promised when they paid $300? Because, yeah, if you pay like
$300, I mean, maybe that had to have included food.
And I guess even paying $75 for a kid to go bike around does sound tough. But I just think like that is worth money. Not that much money, but like that experience
what
could
I
be
saw.
worth, you know.
A lot of the comments said maybe 25.
Yes, if everybody paid $25 to be there, I think you all would have had a great time and it would have been
This
just fine.
particular person who allowed us to share the video said that she tried to make the best of it, did what they could. Take a look at that. Yeah, okay, so it's like an obstacle course.
Cute. Like that little section over there is nice. You can take
That's
good
the
pictures
only
there.
that's the only
Well,
section,
and then they
I
had
guess.
like the box and stuff. I don't know. I saw a couple places that would have made cute pictures, and then a couple of places where you could kind of hang out. See, that's fun. It's a nice box.
$75 to take a picture in
but
a
like,
box. But
it's for the
there
community.
were a lot of people there.
Yeah.
That's one thing is they are making money off of this one way or another.
Well, look at all those
and,
empty seats. I don't know.
I can't imagine the organizers are going to have a good time with that.
Yeah.
But she said she tried to make the most of it, and at the end of the day, she did ask for a refund. We're going to have to follow up on this and see what
Yeah.
actually came of this. Will they give people their money back?
So, should we be hosting our own little event where we charge everybody hundreds of dollars to show up, and then it's kind of mid?
I mean, there are things that looks like something that could happen at the Expo Center here at
yeah.
Fairgrounds,
Yeah.
and you can pay $5 and
Yeah, that's the
spend
thing.
hours and be entertained for forever. And you
If
don't.
But if that one had, you know, one famous person, if Margot Robbie had been there, Brian
the
Gosling,
line would have been out the door.
yeah, and nobody would have been like, oh, this looks bad. Like they would have just been focused on the event. So I wonder what was at those tables. It must not have been worth much of anything.
It seemed like one of those things where you think, oh, we're going to be here all day. We have our outfits on. We're going to take so many pictures. And you get there and you walk around for 20 minutes and you're like, well,
All right, I'm done.
time to go. And you're like,
Yeah.
I just paid all that money. I think that's really the time compared to the money part.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so now let's go to New Orleans, where a big bowl of pasta, I know what you're thinking, it was burnt. They burnt it. That particular tray they burned. That was my first thought. That was celebrating St. Joseph's Day. The chef served up more than 1,000 pounds of pasta con Lasarde. I don't know what that is. But look at that bowl. Where do you even get a bowl that big? You know, I'm a pasta connoisseur. So That looks absolutely delicious to me.
Really?
Other than them burning the cheese a little bit.
Okay.
On the top.
I feel like there's a lot of red flags.
Quite burned. It's just funny to see how they do these things. See, there's the little burnt crisps, but I like a little crisp. They're just doing it on huge cookie sheets, one by one by one by one.
Yeah, I was glad to see they're individually cooked. I don't think the middle of that's getting.
I would just like to be. I would like this to be done in the real way. Like you boil a huge bowl of pasta.
But then the middle of it's not getting done. That's my whole thing.
I know, but you could just you have like a big boiling
you're gonna have uncooked
pasta.
Pasta in the middle,
and then a big bowl of cheese, and you add it into it. That's what I want to see it like giant every step of the process, giant, rather than bringing it in on baking sheets.
Maybe just get an individual serving. Has anybody ever thought of that? And then order
That
seconds if you want it.
That is my individual serving.
Okay. All right.
I'm hungry now.
Yeah, I was going to say, she's eating for two. That's fine.
I am. Oh, my gosh. You should see my McDonald's order this morning at breakfast.
Was it burnt?
It was not burnt, and it was delicious. You know, I said to Parker Patchett, McDonald's breakfast, nothing beats it. It is so delicious every single time.
Every time. You think it's not going to be good, but then come back and it's good again.
It's always good, and it never is never different. You know, that's what's great about it. So the owner of this particular shop said he had over 500 pounds of bucatini pasta covered with 150 gallons of sauce, even had a gravy on top of that, browned breadcrumbs and golden Sicilian raisins and pine nuts, and finally Italian parsley. That's not a pasta I've ever eaten before in my life. I've never heard of that. Sicilian pine nuts and raisins?
But you were going to start with the
And
largest
gravy?
portion known to man.
It looks delicious. I wish I could get a whiff of it. Just a little smell.
Just to be a part of it.
Or a
It looked like,
taste,
it
yeah.
looked like a good community thing. Now, would you pay $75 to be there for that?
I would have done that.
Okay.
If I could have all you
get
can
all
eat.
all the pasta too?
All
Okay.
you can eat pasta.
Fair.
And the money raised went to various charitable organizations. So I'm glad we could,
worked out.
show you that. And now I have to go Google what exactly is pasta con la sarde. Even though I just told you the ingredients of it, maybe I'll have to make it at home. See what it's like. Get some Sicilian pine nuts. Okay, when we come back, we are talking tipping. There's a new survey out there that some people say we should just do away with it altogether. Tipping. Others are saying it's forced generosity. It's a little awkward, but they do it anyway. We'll see where the public stands on this as far as percentages and how many people think these things when we come back.
Some politicians make big promises and never deliver, but that's not how Mike Kehoe rolls.
We must begin the work now to phase out and eliminate Missouri's individual income tax. We have to be bold. It's time to win.
Humans are amazing creatures. Watch how they circle back to increase ROI. But humans are at risk from phishing, smishing, and deepfakes. Luckily, you can keep them safe. KnowBe4 uses Workforce Trust Management to train humans and their agents to spot social engineering and AI attacks. Save the humans. And keep their agents safe and sound too.
This is totally interruption free. Check it out. There, and move the green there, and I'm gonna fall. Green over there. Don't fall. No! Think you can do better? Download Roller Kingdom today.
It's a celebration 100 years in the making. The National Route 66 Centennial Kickoff Celebration presented by Vital Farms, featuring new landmarks, exhibits, car shows, a kickoff concert, and more. Visit Route66Kickoff.com for complete details.
Welcome to the Lake of the Ozarks. Hi, I'm Jordan Salisbury, the owner and founder of the Salisbury Real Estate Team and Salisbury Property Management. Born and raised here at Lake of the Ozarks, I've loved growing up here, and I'm now raising my young family here.
I don't see any fish.
I've been selling the lake for almost 20 years, and we specialize in selling and managing lakefront property. So whether you're buying like a local, staying like a local, we want you to live like a local.
All right, what do we think about tipping? There's a new survey out there that says more than 2 in 5 Americans thinks the U.S. should just ban tips altogether. Well, that would put a lot of people out of a job.
Ban tips is a weird way to say it. I think
just do away with them.
I think sorry, we're gonna jump right into it. I would think that there'd be a way you could say for certain jobs you can tip, but that people should still get paid minimum wage or a livable wage or whatever without needing that tip.
It's the societal problems here, not so much the tipping. Just give everybody minimum wage.
I would never want to be like, it is illegal to slide your waiter on a $5 bill. That shouldn't be illegal.
Yes, that's true. They go out above and beyond.
But I don't think that, but I think it's weird to think that, if you don't pay them...
We shouldn't be supplying their salaries.
Yeah, if you don't pay them, they're literally not going to be able to afford to live because they're not getting paid a livable wage.
Exactly.
Otherwise, that's where it gets crazy, which I think this thing gets to, but I just wanted to...
Well, and I think since the pandemic, things have gotten a little crazy. I don't know if it's related to that, but, everybody was trying to be nicer. Some people trying to be nicer during that time. 81% of people think tipping has gotten out of control.
Yeah.
I think it has. When they passed me that thing at Starbucks through the drive-through window, it's tough.
Yeah, when it feels like they didn't do anything special, but they turn the thing around, and it's...
Especially when they say, and it's just going to ask you a question.
Yeah.
And the question is, how much do you want to tip? I'm like, way to phrase that.
And I wish I knew what they were, not what they were getting paid, but what the company was
doing. Are
you
minimum wage or are you getting paid lower than minimum wage because you're relying on those tips?
Do this, or is this just a...
Well, and I'm much more likely to tip when I'm sitting down at a restaurant knowing those people are not, if I'm at a restaurant, absolutely, because I might have asked for some extra ketchup or something, and you got to run back and forth, or if it's a big party and everybody's asking for something, when you come back to the table, you spend your whole time going back and forth from the kitchen
64% of people think businesses are replacing employee salaries with customer tips. What do you mean think?
I mean, that's how it's set up.
That's how it's set up. That is literally
how it's set
how
up.
It works. They can be paid less than minimum wage because they're getting tips.
And I'm with this group of people of 55% saying that they often leave a tip due to societal pressure rather than good service.
It's not a good job. It's a
100%.
I'm supposed to do this. Here
you have to do it. And it's gone from if they do the bare minimum, thinking about a restaurant, 20%. If they go above and beyond, it's getting close to 30% nowadays. It's wild.
It would be nice if they did a bad job. You don't have to leave them anything, and they'll just go on with their day doing their job regular. But if they went above and beyond, then they could earn something. I guess I don't know. I don't also really want to be in charge of deciding.
No, I don't. That's the whole thing, and I hate math. So if I love the receipts that give me the option 15, 20, 25, just let me circle one, and I'll go about my day, act like it never happened.
Yeah.
1 in 5 people say they tip less when they're presented with a tip suggestion screen, but that's only 1 in 5.
I was gonna say, which means 4 out of 5 are paying more or just paying the same.
I guess they're just clicking it. I mean. Yeah. That's the thing. I complained about the Starbucks, but I'm still clicking something.
Yeah, they make it easy, so I guess I'm just.
I'm not skipping it. I'll hit 10%. Yeah. I mean, whatever.
But I will say I've had the thing where I don't even know exactly how it works, but I swear I don't want to call out certain companies, so I'm just gonna keep it general. But I swear there's places where one person will kind of do something for you, make your food or whatever. Another person will make your drink, and then they'll take it up. You'll take it up to the register, and a different person turns around the screen.
Yeah,
for a
that's
tip.
so true. I'm like, who am I tipping? I know. Who am I tipping
Why would I
here?
tip you?
And it's almost like I want to ask, does this go into a pool and you guys separate this all at the end of the day?
33 people. percent of people think tips should be split among employees.
I would go with that.
I don't even know if they should, but I need to know.
It depends. At Starbucks, yeah. At
a restaurant
Buffalo
where
Wild
somebody's
Wings,
bringing
I don't know.
your stuff, and they're really good about keeping up with you and, making sure your drinks are filled and stuff. Yeah, that doesn't feel like it needs to be split, but I don't know how all that works.
A lot of people say that tipping is good for workers. I mean, it's not bad for them, that's for sure.
I mean, it's a necessity.
Exactly.
Is getting your paycheck good for you?
Right.
Yeah.
That's kind of silly. Self-explanatory. Also self-explanatory. About 9 out of 10 say they are good tippers.
Yeah,
well, everybody's going to say they're a good tipper.
I'm a good tipper, but like you said, when it says 20%, you pay the 20%. But I'm also like, often I'll not spend that much at a restaurant, and I'll feel bad that everybody else is tossing in, $10 as a tip or something, and I'm like, I only ordered,
the peer pressure,
$10 worth of food. I don't think that math. Oh,
unless they go above and beyond, I'm giving everybody the same amount, which is probably 20%. Unless, but I don't know. I'm not hard to please by any means. Yeah. But if you could annoy me by talking a little too much. No, but I'll still give you give you the tip for trying. Doing your job well.
Yeah.
57% think servers deserve higher tips than cooks in a restaurant. Okay, but the cooks are not getting paid what you're getting paid.
I don't know how much they're getting paid. Are they getting paid a normal wage?
That's okay. This is all whatever.
I don't know.
And less than 1 in 3 Americans think tips should be taxed. No tax on tips. I think we can all agree.
I think that,
no tax on tips.
That doesn't. But also, if we just got rid of them, we wouldn't have to.
Right.
We wouldn't have to worry about that part.
My last thought about this is, I have been to places in the world that do not have tipping. Here's the thing, folks. You sit down in Spain because you want a quick lunch. I know it's a completely different culture, but that's not a thing. You cannot. It is like pulling teeth to try to get them to fill up your water cup when you are empty, or bring your food at a reasonable time, or even look at you from across the room because you need, I don't know, peppers for your pizza.
Which is why it seems like there's places where it should be allowed to tip, and like if you expect great service, you're expected to tip, but but you should never have to tip. Because you can get that kind of service in America, and you're still supposed to give them 20%, or else this kid's not going to be able to live.
Well, true. That's the thing is, like, I just remember vividly, like, we tried to get in and out of a place, and you can't because they will not bring your check because they don't care, because they know they're just getting the minimum wage, and they're not working for anything. So while Americans don't want to tip, I don't think you want the alternative. I've seen it, and I don't think you want it. And it's just different. It's not bad. It's just different.
Yeah.
And we've been raised to be catered to when you sit down in a restaurant. And I just don't think you would like the alternative. So that's my soapbox. Let's count our blessings and let's give 20%, okay?
Just pay
that's
the screen.
My thoughts. All right. That's going to do it for us today. We've got shows ready for you tonight as, newscasts, and we'll see you then.
Looking for income from your portfolio? Rex has options. Systematic strategies from top sectors. Balanced income and growth in single stocks. Or high income potential from the market's most volatile names. 3 income approaches. Pick the one that fits your conviction. Explore all 3 at rexshares.com/income.
Our communication style is we want to be available. People have questions, people have concerns. I want to be there to answer those questions or concerns, to try to put their mind at ease and help them through the process.
Every time we go to court, we try to be very prepared and know all the facts.
We spend a lot of time thinking about how's the best way to handle each particular case, and that we've done it for a long time to allow us to have a breadth of knowledge, which I think sets us apart from most people.
It's a celebration 100 years in the making. The National Route 66 Centennial Kickoff Celebration presented by Vital Farms, featuring new landmarks, exhibits, car shows, a kickoff concert, and more. Visit Route66Kickoff.com for complete details.
Welcome to the Lake of the Ozarks. Hi, I'm Jordan Salisbury, the owner and founder of the Salisbury Real Estate Team and Salisbury Property Management. Born and raised here at Lake of the Ozarks, I've loved growing up here, and I'm now raising my young family here.
I don't see any fish.
I've been selling the lake for almost 20 years, and we specialize in selling and managing lakefront property. So whether you're buying like a local, staying like a local, we want you to live like a local.